Hi guys, welcome back to Inno Thinks. Do you know what movie I'm bringing you today? Have you seen Van Helsing? Well, I'm bringing you a film that gives you that same kind of feeling. The name of the movie is The Karst, and it was released in 2021. This is really a very good film. So shall we dive into the story without giving away the one-liner? Before that, just tap the like button. The starting scene of the film, a medical team is shown. They are busy treating soldiers who have been wounded in the war, seemingly fighting against German soldiers. All the doctors are removing 3 bullets from a French soldier's stomach. But then they discover a 4th bullet. They were told there were only 3. The 4th one turns out to be made of a different material. It's a silver bullet. They're confused. How can this be? They are shocked to learn that such bullets are being made in Germany. The film then shifts, taking us back to the 19th century. During the time of war, and from there, it narrates events that took place 35 years earlier. In a village called Cho, there is a large house where the village leader lives. His wife's name is Isabel. The leader also has 2 children, a son and a daughter. Let's call the girl our sister and the boy our brother. In addition to the family, several people work in the leader's house. Suddenly, a tribe called the Gypsies comes to live next to the leader's home. Actually, the Gypsies were originally from this village but had left long ago for unknown reasons. Now they've returned and are living in tents nearby. The head of the Gypsy group is a woman, and the village leader gives her some silver coins, which she melts down to perform a ritual. What they do is pour the molten silver into a mold and shape it like a tooth, basically creating a full set of silver teeth. Meanwhile, at the leader's house, important people from the town gather for a meeting. The sister and brother peek in to see what's going on. They hear the leader of Cho talking about the sudden return of people who have not been seen in the village for a very long time. When the tribe is discussed, the village elders say they must be chased away somehow. But the neighboring priest objects, saying it's not possible because this land belongs to them too. They had even come to the church and marked their place there.
Ow. How can you say it's not theirs?
If we go and take over their land like this, soon they'll claim ownership of the whole town. We have to chase them out before that happens. So he plans to destroy everything inside that church somehow. He calls for henchmen and tells them to attack, making a villainous plan because they don't want these people staying here. The next day, those henchmen arrive and go to the tent area, forcing everyone out. They behave as if they own the land. But the Gypsies aren't in a position to fight back, so the attackers begin destroying everything and killing people brutally. No one in Cho expected this to happen. They don't just kill. They set fire to the entire tent. The terrified people don't know what to do. The goons have guns and knives. They're heavily armed, while the innocent villagers have nothing. Some people are even taking photographs, as if proud of their violence. Eventually, they capture the leader of the tribe and his wife. Both of them are punished cruelly. One henchman says the silver tooth set is ready and offers to keep it himself. But a villager objects, saying, no, bury it with the leader. Then they brutally cut off the leader's hands and legs and give them to the shoemaker. They trap him inside a doll-like figure and keep him alive until he dies inside it. His wife isn't spared either. They dig a live grave for her, and she begins chanting magical words while holding a silver bottle in her hand. She mumbles curses as they bury her, but the attackers ignore her. They mock her, saying, "Do whatever you want. His story ends today." Their behavior is shockingly cruel. At the same time, in the nearby house, the sister Kamikaze is seen practicing a song, which has no idea that a huge problem is about to happen. The same sister secretly possesses the corn forest doll without anyone knowing. Is the same doll where they had hidden a man inside. She visits the place alone, and as soon as she arrives, the doll's head turns toward her. But she ignores it and starts digging something underneath the doll in that corn forest area. Suddenly, she wakes up. It was all a dream. But no one can understand why she's having such strange dreams. Meanwhile, our hero makes his entry into the village. He's actually a doctor who investigates diseases and mysteries. He has knowledge about the Gypsum people and has come to the village to investigate their case. But now, the Gypsum community has been completely wiped out. He goes to a lodge in the village to ask about the Gypsum people. However, the receptionist refuses to speak, since the villagers were involved in exterminating them. Then a local official, like the police of that era, finds out about our hero and meets him. This official already seems to know him. When asked why he's here, our hero replies that he's investigating the Gypsum tribe.
Out.
Cho tells him they may need help. In the next scene, The brother is seen approaching the corn forest doll in the forest alone. As soon as he gets there, he starts digging a pit in that area. Suddenly, he hears a noise. When he turns to look, he sees a woman. It's the leader of the Gypsum people, floating toward him slowly. Seeing her, he starts crying. Next, we see him screaming outside his house. Everyone in Cho's household hears the noise, comes outside, and assumes he's sleepwalking. The scene cuts to the next morning. A group of little boys from the town are seen going toward the doll in the middle of the forest. The boy leading them is named Timmy. As they head inside, he warns them, "No one should know about this. We came here secretly. Whatever happens, stay quiet, okay?" And with that, he leads the group toward the forest doll. Then the brother tells the boys, "Listen, no one from our village knows about this place, and no one should come here again. Let's go back." Timmy then explains that this place had once caught fire and was involved in a past incident. Asks, "Who here has had dreams about this place?" To that, all the boys raise their hands. Every single one of them had the same dream. Timmy decides to start digging to see what's hidden there. But as he digs, someone tries to stop him. He pushes forward anyway and eventually finds the silver tooth set. Without realizing what he's doing, he removes the silver teeth and ends up placing them in his own mouth. Then, he suddenly turns aggressive and bites the brother. Everyone panics and runs in fear. Meanwhile, the sister rushes home, screaming that her brother is shouting from the forest. The household staff immediately run into the forest to help. Cho also goes there, but Timmy had warned everyone not to tell anyone what had happened. Cho finds the injured brother and carries him. It looks like he's been bitten. A doctor arrives quickly to examine him and confirms that he's been bitten by some kind of animal, but they don't know what kind. The sister, who knows the full truth, stays silent and pretends she knows nothing. That night turns into a nightmare again. Our heroine sees another horrifying dream. In it, the Sholakatu doll seems to grab her. Suddenly, she wakes up in fear. She tries to go back to sleep, but hears strange noises from her brother's room. Surprised that he's awake at that hour, she goes to check on him. She hears him moaning inside the room when she pulls his blanket off. She's shocked his body is covered in strange roots. She panics and screams for her parents. They come, running. And all are horrified to see blood on the bed and their son in a terrifying condition. No one knows where Cho wants to go. The main door is already wide open. So the next day, everyone in the town begins searching for the brother. The entire village joins in, but he's nowhere to be found. The mother is devastated by the loss. They can't accept what happened because they had so much love for the boy. Meanwhile, our heroine feels immense guilt. She hadn't told her parents about what happened in the forest. She didn't mention the bite or the silver teeth. Now her brother has gone missing. That guilt weighs heavily on her. On the other side, the police officer starts getting suspicious. He decides to seek help from our hero. He tells him about the boy who vanished in the forest and asks for his help to find him. He also suspects that the gypsy people might be connected to the incident. Our hero agrees to assist. The next day, the sister, overwhelmed by guilt, goes to the church. There, she sees the boy who had bitten down on the silver teeth. Tim, he now looks normal and stands inside the confessional booth. She asks what happened to him and what he remembers. Tim replies that he has no idea what he did, says he had no control and didn't even realize what he was doing. When he woke up, he found the silver tooth in his hand. He explains that he buried the silver set near the temple shrine and didn't tell anyone else about it, since it was part of their rule. The sister then says she still can't find her brother. Hearing this, Tim tears out a page from the Bible and reads about how a messenger betrayed Jesus for silver coins. He feels like he's under that same kind of curse. At that moment, the confessional door opens and he rushes out, emotionally overwhelmed. Still haunted by the guilt of her missing brother, the sister suddenly spots a body in the distance. It's her brother. She runs after him as he disappears into the forest. She follows quickly, but just as she's about to reach him, a strange creature appears and attacks her, cutting off her hand. Cho is terrified. She runs desperately through the forest and stumbles upon a cabin. While he was sitting and tearing a piece of paper from the Bible, the creature came in. That marked the end of his story. If you cut to the next scene, the cop appears and calls our hero. He comes to the leader's house and introduces the hero. The leader says, "Our hero has already solved many problems in this village, so he will now help us investigate this issue." The cop agrees and says it's good that the hero arrived just in time, as they've received some urgent news. They all hurry to a cabin deep inside the forest. That's where Timmy had gone into hiding, and now his body has decayed into a horrific state. The cop, terrified by the sight, steps back. But our hero walks in calmly, examines the body, and finds a Bible page clutched in Timmy's hand. On that page, some words are underlined, words related to the silver coin. Coming out of the cabin, the hero says, "This was definitely a wolf's attack." That explains the brutal condition of the body. The cop then questions, "Is your son involved in this incident?" The hero suggests that the case needs to be investigated more deeply. The leader then says the village is facing a new crisis like cholera and that all resources are being depleted. He wants to take immediate action, the hero replies. "Then we'll begin this investigation from your house." So, our hero goes to the leader's house, where Edward had last been seen before, disappearing, carefully examines the surroundings. The family members share what they know. But the sister says nothing, because she doesn't want to get caught. The family also arranges for the hero to stay in their house. That night, the hero has a strange dream. In it, he finds himself standing in front of the Sholakadu doll. Suddenly, he wakes up and starts digging under the doll. Previously, everyone else had dug a little and then left it alone. But our hero keeps digging persistently. As he digs, he discovers a strange-looking teddy bear. He becomes terrified. At that moment, he hears a mysterious noise behind him. Turning around, he sees a woman and her child standing nearby. While he's frozen in fear, the doll suddenly disappears. Looking back, it must have been a lady's daughter, right? He calls them and says, this Cholakatu doll is going somewhere and he's just scared. Will that Cholakatu doll appear in front of him? That's all he's scared of? He says it's all a dream and makes himself look at the candle. There's a photograph behind it. There's a lady and a little girl. Actually, it's like our hero's family. They died for some reason. Not only that, in the middle of the night, he hears someone shouting and comes out to see who it is. Look, it's the leader of the family and his wife, who are fighting, and their son is missing, isn't he? So it's like they're fighting a lot about it. So our hero doesn't disturb them at all. He goes into his room and goes to sleep. If we cut to the next scene, what our hero does next, since the boy is missing, is examine the plate in his room. He comes and tests it to see if he can get any evidence from it. When he tests it, he gets a different result. It's not like normal people, and just then there's a noise from outside. He slowly comes up and looks out the window. Out there, a strange creature. He's completely terrified, but he doesn't show fear. What he does is call the leader and says to bring the gun. The leader brings it quickly, so they both come out slowly to check, but by then it's gone. So our hero says, there's definitely something here. So the next day, what the leader does is gather all the big people in the village, he says. We all have to go hunting. But from there, everyone starts feeling a little possessive and suspicious. Because this leader listens to this young hero, they feel a bit angry. But what our hero says is, I saw a similar case in the neighborhood. You must have heard of it, the case of the Beast of Colkirk. I'm getting the same feeling here. Maybe there's some kind of creature here. Everyone who hears this is shocked, thinking it might attack anything. Then they say, let's call the army. We should call the hero's army immediately. But the army needs evidence. It will help only if there is some proof. So, we need one of the creatures to come and get caught. I'll make arrangements for that, says the hero. So what you all should do is make sure no one else goes out. Keep everyone indoors. While this discussion is happening, there are 3 people who are lustful. If you look at them, they're heading into the forest, thinking they'll find something. Unaware of the great danger that exists, Cho hears a strange sound as she searches for something inside the forest with a lady and 2 gents. Immediately, this girl turns around. If you look at those 2 people, you'll see them. When she calls out their names in fear, she sees someone coming. With her, she looks at him in fear, as if something is standing next to him and biting him cruelly. It's a different kind of creature. It leaves him and attacks her. She's also running, but it catches her and bites her. At the right time, another man comes and saves this girl. But poor fellow, he gets caught in it, so she doesn't know what to do. She somehow escapes from there and rushes to the village. As soon as Cho arrives at the village, people look at her and help her, as if she is in trouble. So, when our hero comes to know about this, they go into the forest and find that they haven't found anyone's dead body, only materials are found. What could it be? Our hero tries to check the girl to understand who attacked them, comes to check the girl who was bitten, but by then, the girl has disappeared. That place is full of blood. So our hero, who sees all this, says, I thought it was something normal, but it's too bad. So what he does is tell all the people here to go to church. I think the church is the only safe place, because if everyone is in the same place, we won't have to worry about anyone else. In the meantime, he has to figure out what this is. At the same time, the girl who was Bitternif, someone loved her, is just coming into the woods. Her body is covered in blood. She couldn't control it. As something starts to change in her body, it gradually begins to emerge from behind her like roots. That's the same thing that happened to the little guy, right? That's what happened to his brother. As her body follows her, she rushes into the water and sinks. As soon as she drowns, her whole body begins to change like this. Now, cut to the church scene. If you see the people of the town, they start coming to the church in fear, because something is attacking them, right? So, they're all coming here as if this is the only safe place for now. If we cut to this side, our hero is talking to the leader's wife alone at night. That's when he starts talking about his family. A horrible beast came and attacked a village, right? He seems to have lost his wife and daughter in that incident. That's why he goes from village to village investigating all related cases and helping in whatever way he can. That's why he's looking for these gypsum people, because their silver brings a big curse. This curse might have come from them too. When he says that, the wife starts talking about her husband's hunt, because they had come and killed all those gypsum people, right? So just then, the leader arrives to interrupt and ask what he's doing there. If we cut to the next day, our hero enters the forest alone and sets a lot of traps, because he knows there's something around the place. He has to catch it somehow. Only then can he get help from the army, so he sets up many traps around that place. He also sees all the Cholakatu dolls standing there. There's a man among them. Then he starts digging several pits full of traps. Suddenly, our hero falls into a sort of dream. He's thinking about his wife and child. When he looks up, he sees a strange creature in front of him. It's what he's been looking for. He doesn't get scared and slowly approaches it. But the creature suddenly jumps out and attacks him. But our hero has already made many traps. Right. He pushes the creature into one, places a lot of sticks on top of it, and traps it in a pit right on the spot. That's how he catches it. So he hangs it and brings it back to the village for examination. All the village leaders are horrified. When they see it, it's not like a wolf, and our hero says, yes, it's not a wolf. But it's something more than that. We have to analyze it properly to know what it is. Saying that, our hero cuts open the creature's stomach. But from inside the stomach, something terrifying emerges. If you look closely, it's no one else. It's the same lady who got bitten, right? It's like she's still alive inside the creature's womb, but she's not in control. Those root-like things are spreading all over her back. Seeing this, none of the heroes do anything. They stay calm, wanting to see what she does. But just then, the lady starts screaming terribly. Someone who saw this ran and hurried to get the suit ready, as there's no one else who can do the suit. The girl's father must have been devastated to see his daughter like that. Seeing all this, the leader was deeply shaken and said, will the same thing happen to my son? When he feels that way, our hero asks, why is everyone hiding something from me? Because what did you bury under that Cholakata doll? Why do I keep dreaming about it? Even when I go to ask your wife about it, she hides the truth and hesitates to say anything. This curse might be real. This makes the leader very tense. He says there is no curse. Don't talk unnecessarily. My boy is innocent. How can you link him to some curse? From now on, I'll take care of it. I'll hunt that creature and kill it. Now it's the next day. Our hero realizes that fighting the leader is pointless, so he decides to start the investigation on his own. He meets the leader's wife and asks her to speak honestly. When he asks what happened, she brings a photo. Isn't this the photo taken when they killed the gypsum people? Yes, this is that same photo. Then, our hero comes and finds a piece of paper in the boy's bottle. That's the Bible paper. If a silver verse is written on it, then it must be connected. That's when the leader's daughter finally begins telling the full truth. She says, when we went there with the boys, one of them took a silver tooth set from that place, tried to control it unknowingly. That's when my brother was bitten. She also reveals before Timmy died, he mentioned that the tooth set was hidden somewhere in the church. They eventually find it too. After seeing this, our hero understands the full extent of the curse. That tribe had placed a cruel curse. If a creature bites someone, that person turns into one too. There's only one way to stop it. So, our hero makes a plan. At the same time, the village leader declares, we don't need our hero's help anymore. We've already hunted the creature. So, he goes into the forest with his men and waits. But no creature shows up. Meanwhile, back at the leader's house, a maid finds an injured companion outside. They single quotes were going to pick it up so fast. There's a terrible wind at the time, and it's very scary for them. Suddenly there's a noise, as if something is talking about all the creatures. If you look closely, there's a footprint on the cloth. They are terrified. That's the sign of the creature. Then their story ends badly. It comes fast and bites them. But it runs away without killing them. They rush home, clean their bodies, and apply some ointment. But after a little while, they start to change too. If we cut to this scene, our hero takes the silver pulse, or rather, he melts it all and makes for silver bullets, because this is the only way to stop the creature. That's the nature of the curse. At the same time, if you look at the leader, he comes home very angry because they couldn't find any creature. If you see, the maid also comes home angry and brings food for him. She doesn't know she has been attacked. At the same time, our hero arrives at the house. When he gets there, he notices the cloth that's drying outside. He sees blood on it. When he comes inside and asks if anyone is missing, the leader is already tense. He says, "Calm down in front of my wife. I know what to do." "You get out of here first," he shouts angrily. Our hero replies, "We'll be back here by tomorrow morning. The army will be here soon," says this to ensure everyone's safety, and then leaves to guard the town. At the same time, it's night here. The leader goes to sleep. But then, a sound comes from the ventilation. He becomes suspicious. So, he quietly removes the cover and checks the maid's room. As this happens, our hero also arrives. When Cho comes in, he first heads to the kitchen to take the tea and clean his rifle. Meanwhile, the leader climbs upstairs. Suddenly, something appears from the side as he checks the maid's room. But we don't know what it is. He drops it onto a candle, and it starts to catch fire at the same time. There's a noise in the leader's wife's kitchen. Our hero is making tea there. Then a gunshot is heard from upstairs. Everyone runs up and down in panic. There's a fierce fire above. In the middle of it, a creature falls down. So, that's the one the leader was after. But when we look again, the leader seems to be running somewhere. Our hero says, "Hurry up and get your daughter out of here. I'll take care of it," he says, as he rushes to the side and looks at the leader. If you look at him, he's been bitten. He's going to change in a little while, so he has a torch in his hand and is ready to pour all the mud there. Our hero also has to be patient. Before he can say, "I'll take care of it," the leader sets fire to the place. He burns himself to death. At the same time, the mother and daughter escape from there, don't they? As they do, the whole place goes up in flames. However, our hero comes to the spot, saves them, and from there they rush to the church. On the way, if you listen, you can hear the sound of the creature. However, our hero has the silver bullet, so if they somehow manage to escape, he can protect them. He gets them into the church. When Cho enters, there are a lot of survivors inside, including Safepaw. For now, this is the only place that can be considered safe. They've come here and locked everything securely. The creature couldn't open. It didn't come in. Not only that, but our hero doesn't know what to say when all the people present ask what happened to the leader. When he says the leader died, everyone is devastated. If someone says, "I won't let the monster go," he says, "Don't go out for revenge. Be patient. Wait for me until morning. The army will come, and we can escape. Besides," he says, "I have the silver bullet. That's the only reason I'm still alive." Somehow, he manages to convince Cho to stay patient. Now it's nighttime. Everyone is sitting inside the church, praying in fear. When the mother comes and prays, she hears a sound. They all come near the door to see what the sound is. It sounds like their son's voice. "Has my son come?" she wonders, thinking that her missing son has returned. They hurriedly open the door, so everyone sees a sack-like shape from the outside. And when they look closer, a giant creature appears. That's what was making the sound. It enters before they can close the door. It comes in and starts attacking. Everyone, if you see our hero, he is ready to shoot with the bullet, but every bullet misses. There are only 4 bullets total, so he's trying carefully. But by then, the mother arrives, as if her son didn't do anything. But the creature doesn't know that, does it? What it does is bite the mother's neck. So, our hero doesn't know a way out here. He shoots the mother in the back, not to harm her, but to push the creature away. When he does, the bullet passes through, and the creature falls on top of him. As soon as the silver touches it, something starts to happen to the creature's body. From within it, the little boy comes out. He's still alive. That means the silver hitting the beast's skin had an effect, and he's the only one who falls out. The mother, seeing this, is relieved and overjoyed that her boy escaped. Scene is cut here. If you cut it now, it will be morning. So, morning arrives early, right? Everyone gets away safely. But this little boy doesn't remember anything. So what our hero does is adopt the brother and sister and starts raising them with him. Not only that, after 35 years, a silver bullet would be taken from a man's body, wouldn't it? So it's none other than this brother is the one who has become a soldier after growing up.
Out.
Not only that, but the silver bullet had stayed in his body all this time. They end the film showing that it is going to be removed now. I hope you all liked it. If you liked it, don't forget to like. Be safe. Goodbye.